What's up, y'all? I'm gonna be doing my Marlon Vera versus Sean O'Malley breakdown of UFC 252. Man, this is such an awesome card, man. Sean O'Malley comes as the number 14 bantamweight in the world, 12-0 from Arizona, age 25, height 5'11, a reach of 72. Notable wins: Eddie Wineland, Quinzo, no, oh man, Quinzo, I think, and Andre Sukumta. And then Marlon Vera comes in 17-6. Crazy thing, he was the former number 15 guy in the world, and then he got taken out of the rankings, which is pretty sad. From Ecuador, age 27, height 5'8, reach 70, so it's only 2 point reach disadvantage. Notable wins: Brad Pickett, Brian Kelleher, and Frankie Shands. We just see Frankie get obliterated by Jonathan Martinez on the last UFC show in Derek Brunson versus Edmund Shabazz. Let me take my hood. But this is I love this fight, man. This is an awesome fight. I was surprised this got bumped up to the co-main event. I had made a video of Junior Dos Santos and Jorginho, that breakdown, but I don't know. I might scrap that. If you guys want to watch it, you can watch it. I might release. I don't know, but this is an awesome fight, man. I don't know how some people feel about it. I know, when I do my when I change the whole entire format of this channel, going to 2 breakdowns and a full prediction including prelims, I do notes. And looking back at this card, when they originally announced this card, it had Frankie Edgar versus Pedro Munoz, and it's just, I really thought they were gonna have Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera open up the show, but they originally had Junior and Jorginho as the co-main event, and they switched it up. And one of the reporters on Twitter that was reporting on this show, I might give him a shout out in the descriptions. I don't know, but he kind of told me there's not a big chance of Marlon and Sean O'Malley being on the co-main event. That kind of tells you the ability and the star power of Sean O'Malley to bump himself to the co-main event spot, man. This fight is so, there's more story to it than people realize. These guys were supposed to be booked. Was it UFC 229? It might have been a different UFC show, or UFC 239. It might have been that one, and they were supposed to be booked, and Sean O'Malley had tested positive for some bullshit or whatever. And Marlon Vera ended up fighting someone else, I think, on short notice, and whooped on him. These guys are two upstarters, man. I think Marlon Vera is I have him as my dark horse at bantamweight, but he's and the reason why I call him a dark horse is that he's really, really good, but no one kind of gives him his credit, I've noticed. But Sean O'Malley is, an upstart, a prospect that everyone's looking at. And I think there's a little bit of, I wouldn't say there's beef, but I feel like Marlon Vera wants to beat this kid. He wants to show everyone that he's the guy. He's young as fuck. He's not that much older. He's only 2 years older than Sean O'Malley. But, this guy's a grinder, man. He doesn't get a lot of hype, but he just puts it in there. He goes forward and fucking finishes people, man. He's a fucking finisher. His victory over Brad Pickett. Brad Pickett was winning that whole fucking fight. Go watch that fight. Brad Pickett he was doing so many great things, but this guy, he goes forward and does not give up, and he threw that fucking, it was either a roundhouse kick or a high kick. It was either like a high kick from his lead foot when he caught Brad Pickett, and he fucking ended his goddamn career with that. But Marlon Vera is a fucking grinder, man. And I honestly thought he won his last fight against Song Yadong. I don't, honestly, man, it is what it is with that. But this guy, he's serious. I hold him in a very high regard. This kind of reminds me of like when Conor fought Dustin Poirier back in the day. Like, people didn't know how good Dustin Poirier was going to be. Back then. We didn't know. And I don't know, maybe Marlon might not get to like a Dustin Poirier's level, but and Sean O'Malley might not ever get to a Conor McGregor level, but these guys are very similar to that. And I think Marlon Vera is very dangerous. But Sean O'Malley He's a motherfucker, man. You know, his last two fights, man. You know, this is about to be his third fight this year, man. 248, Jose Quinzo. He fucking annihilated him, and that guy was on like a 6-fight win streak. And then Eddie Wineland had who did he fight? I forgot who he fought on 238, but he had knocked out another prospect. I forgot the kid's name that people were hyping up, and he fucking took him out. So there's some people that pick. I seen some people pick Eddie Wineland, you know, for that fight. Nothing against them. It is what it is. But he got fucking annihilated in that fight against Sean O'Malley, man. Sean O'Malley's had the goddamn backpack on his goddamn... No, not back. He has the rocket ship on his back ever since that contender series win. And you got Snoop Dogg reacting to that shit. And he has the Snoop Dogg push, and people are watching him. People see him. You know, it's different when you're a hype train. You got all these expectations, man. He's young in this game, and he's really, really young. And... but he's fucking taking it with stride, man. The pressure, like, even though you could say these guys that he's fighting are bums, but, like, the pressure that he has to go through is unlike anyone else, you know? Like, he's expected to win. It is harder, I feel like, sometimes to be the favorite than the underdog, man. Marlon Vera, he might be... Not a lot of people know how good he is, man. I was talking to one of my homies. I wouldn't call him a casual, but... He's just not familiar with Marlon Vera, and he was like, man, that guy's going to get knocked out by Sean O'Malley. It's like, you know, people disregard him. So he really doesn't have a lot of pressure. Like, I don't know how the media circuit works when they're doing media days, but, like, how many interviews is Marlon Vera going to get? He might get a lot, but I feel like Sean O'Malley's going to get a lot more, you know? So this is a hard fight for Sean, man. This is a defining fight for Sean. You know, we're going to learn a lot about Sean O'Malley in this fight. But I think, I'm a believer, man. I am. I'm not a big fan of hype trains. I don't usually get sucked into. I was such a... Israel Adesanya ended up, you know, proving me wrong, but I was so against Israel Adesanya in the lead up. I was just not feeling him. You know, I picked a lot of people against him, man. I picked Derek Brunson. And I even picked Anderson against him, Kelvin. I don't really like Whitaker, so that one, or, you know, I shouldn't say I don't like Whitaker. I didn't like Whitaker as champion, so I didn't really have someone to pick in that fight. I picked Yoel Romero to beat him. I'm probably gonna pick Costa to beat him. I'm just not feeling him, but nothing against him. He's a great fucking fighter, but just my personal preference. But, you know, Sean O'Malley's one of those guys. Is like I guess you could call him a guilty pleasure. You see me. When Edmund Shabazian just got destroyed by Derek Brunson, I was trying to tell people, like, I don't think Derek's going to lose to this kid, man. I think Derek is motivated and hungry. And usually I don't get caught up in these hype trains, but Sean O'Malley's I just feel like he's different. He's a lot different. And I don't think he's going to knock out Marlon. Marlon Vera's tough, man. But I think he can beat Marlon Vera in a decision. You got to look at that Andre Sukumta fight, man, when he broke his fucking foot, I think, how tough he is. Now, Andre Sukumta is retarded for not taking him, or not taking him, just standing up and telling him to get the fuck up instead of taking him down. So, you know, that's what, you know, but he's a tough kid. He's talented. That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that. There's a lot of guys, like Edson Barboza, that he's born with that ability, you know, high twitch muscle fibers or whatever, where he can just explode like that. But you can see in some of his fights, you know, he gets tired, he quits a little bit. You know, I wouldn't say Edson Barboza isn't tough, but, like, don't expect him to win in those championship rounds in 4 and 5. You know, that's what I'm going to say, right? I think Sean O'Malley can do that in the fourth. When you need him to win, that was the proving point for me when it came to Israel Adesanya. When he fought Kelvin Gastelum, I was like, wow, this guy he got a dog in him. You know, to do that in the fourth, not in the fourth, but in the 5th round, you know, when everything's on the line, where Kelvin might just take it from you, you know, I think I think Sean got that. I think he got that in him, and I'm gonna be going Sean O'Malley, but I have a lot of fucking respect for Marlon Vera. Do not doubt this guy. I've been trying to tell my homie, do not fucking doubt. I would not be surprised if Cheeto goes out there and fucking shocks the world and breaks Sean. I would not be surprised. I just don't see it happening. But yeah, man, I'm super fucking excited for this fight. And yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to be going Sean O'Malley in this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. eBay Predictions is out.